Hi, my name is Jackie Simmons. I'm Senior Brand Manager over at Capcom USA, and I am representing Street Fighter, and I can't wait to talk about Street Fighter 6 with you.
Jackie, what's the biggest leap from 5 to 6? What will players notice the most?
Oh, so many. I mean, just the fact that you see, these enhanced visuals powered by RE Engine, new features, especially with the addition to modern control schemes, and as well as just kind of our looks and feels of both iconic characters and new characters coming into the roster.
Talk about the re-engine. Looks absolutely gorgeous in the Street Fighter game. Like it has a very little competition.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, we gave a little teaser back in February, and just a little taste to see what it would be like. For us, we wanted to go with a more photorealism feel in terms of that character development, and we just felt like that would just be such a great fit for next generation.
You have a new modern control method. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Definitely. So with Street Fighter 6, one of the things we wanted to accomplish was a Street Fighter for all approach, and also kind of pushing the boundaries in terms of expanding that audience and the fighting game genre. So, we wanted to still keep to our core, that classic, modern control scheme, but we also wanted to add in this now new modern version where it has simpler inputs, kind of lifts that veil of complexity when you start entering into, fighting game kind of arena, and so far it's been successful. As you can tell in the background here, people have been really loving it.
It's interesting. I have a 13-year-old nephew, and I had to explain what a Dragon Punch was, or reverse Dragon Punch, and I had a hard time actually compensating that. It's like a generational thing. Like, I know what it is, but he's never experienced that before. There hasn't been like a game like that for him for a long time. Can you talk about how you made the decision to have both control methods, classic and modern?
The decision was pretty easy for us, especially because we recognize Street Fighter fans come in all forms. Of course, we love our FGC fans. We love our Street Fighter aficionados that came, who've kind of gone through this journey with us in Street Fighter 2. But we also recognize there's those casual fighters, and even first time is even as early as announcement last week that are like, hey, I want to get into the game too. How can I play? So this was our way of providing all of those experiences, or being inclusive and having the accessibility for all of those audiences.
What was your biggest takeaway from Street Fighter V and its DLC chapters that you brought with you and improved upon in 6?
That people are hungry for more content, and I hope by the announcement itself, we thought we would even do the disservice of just announcing just Fighting Grounds, even though we're just showing that on demo right now. And so we wanted to show the world. We wouldn't want to have limitations. We wanted to break those boundaries and barriers. And so that's why at announcement we showed even our 3 major pillars that included not only that really nice to the touch like fighting experience, but also the inclusion of World Tour Mode, or a single immersive experience, as well as Battle Hub, that visual lobby to engage with other World Warriors from around the world.
You talk about specifically the levels and fighters you're showing here at the show.
Yes, so at Summer Game Fest, we actually did announce Guile a couple of days ago with some really great reception. Family Man's back. Now, as far as the demo goes, we still have our iconic characters that we introduced, Chun as well as Ryu. In addition to that, Luke, who we introduced towards the end of Street Fighter V, is also playable into the demo, and with that updated look from that photorealism that you see here. And then we also now have shown a new character, Jamie, who has like this breakdance fighting kind of approach, and everyone loves him. He's actually one of my favorites to play, because in addition to just his additional fighting kit, breakdance fighting aesthetics, he also has this mechanic where he drinks from his gorge, and the more you drink, the more you can unlock more moves to play with him. So.
You talk about in the versus screen, you can do these things with the faces, like smile or frown. Like, what's that all about?
It's so funny because for us it was just such a small snippet. We wanted to show all these different fun aspects about the game and all our little details coming up to Summer Game Fest. That got picked up like wildfire. We didn't realize that was going to go viral, but yes, when you go into the versus kind of screen, you're able to go on your D-pad and show all these little different variations to kind of intimidate or even kind of make fun of your opponent. It just felt like that extra nuance towards how it can feel more real as a fighting game.
Can you give us any specifics on dedicated servers or rollback netcode?
No details at this time, but we'll definitely look forward to diving deep into those details in the future.
it's finally coming on Xbox. I've been waiting so long for this. Talk about how you're finally going to be on other platforms instead of exclusively on the PlayStation.
It feels so good. Of course, it's great to be on PlayStation and PC, but being back with the Xbox family, again, we're trying to have that Street Fighter for all approach, and we just felt like we couldn't do it without having Xbox back into the scene. So we're really excited, and we feel like we can even reach even more of our community by having all multiple platforms included.
I don't suppose you can talk about potential cross-play potential at all, can you?
I wish, but you know what? We'll definitely have to dive more deep once we're ready to talk about those details in the future.
I'm gonna go back. You did announce Guile during the show, which was awesome, but I mean, 219? Like, what is that? 219 pounds? Have you seen the memes? Yeah. Maybe one bicep.
It's that, and then it's also like, hey, Ryo gained weight. How did he do that? But you know what? And people, it's just like those little things that we love about our fans, that they have these little details that they just pick up on. Even as far as even Chun's like weight is like, it's a secret, and they're like, oh, that's so nuanced to her.
It's also respectful. Like, women should never say their weight, and you'd only give her height but not her weight.
Exactly. You don't ask a lady for her weight. So it was really nice to kind of have those little nuance and details kind of incorporated into the game, and fans just catching up on every single detail.
What's it been like seeing people get hands-on for the first time since you announced the game like merely a few days ago?
First of all, they're like shocked because no one expected this. They didn't expect how big the announcement trailer was going to be. They didn't expect all the different pillars of the game besides fighting that was going to be introduced. And they were like, oh, Summer Game Fest is coming up. There's no way they're going to, have a demo ready. It's going to take, the game's coming out in 2023, and then they're like, wait, it's playable and it's good. And that's the quality we want to showcase with Street Fighter 6 moving forward, and so we just wanted to put, the right foot in, and, we also wanted to be upfront and transparent with our community, and so far it's been working with us since the end of Street Fighter 5, and we want to carry that over for Street Fighter 6.
It's got to be a difficult job when it comes to the roster. Everyone has their fan favorites. Some of them don't make a return. Some of them do. Sometimes we get completely new original fighters. What's it been like working on Street Fighter 6 for the current roster you've announced so far?
It has been a challenge. That is probably one of the biggest challenge, because people want to know who's next. Are you gonna bring this character back? And then also it's like we want to have that balanced mix between those iconic characters that you know and love, but also bring some fresh blood, and new fan favorites. I mean, again, Jamie has been received so well, and we look forward to kind of sharing, more of those characters as they unfold throughout the year.
The game is slated to come out sometime next year, and what platforms are you aiming for next year for launch?
For launch, we are looking at PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, as well as PC. So we're really...
Because I have to ask, any plans for Nintendo Switch?
Current moment, I can't comment, but,
anything is possible.
Anything is possible.